Hey everybody, and welcome to a new video on E.Stampley Art. In today's video, I'm going to be doing something a little different, something I've never done on the channel before, which is to do a sketchbook tour. This is a Plumchester hardbound sketchbook. It's a little over 8 by 8 in size. It has the elastic band, obviously, to keep it securely closed, and the satin ribbon inside so you can keep your place in the book while you're working in it. The media that works best with this one is dry media. I would say pencils, crayons, that kind of thing. When you start getting into, like, say, watercolors, it's not really meant for watercolors or water-based type media. You can do a little bit with it, but you will get some warping of your paper. Also, with alcohol-based markers, they are going to bleed through, so just know that going in advance. So this is the last sketchbook I used. I figured I would do a sketchbook tour because I'm going to crack open a new sketchbook, and I figured why not show you what I have done over the past few years in my last sketchbook. Yes, I did say years. It takes me a little bit to fill up a sketchbook. Hopefully I'll do a little bit better this year. At least that's one of my goals, but yeah, we'll see. Overall, this is a fabulous sketchbook to get. I really enjoyed working in it. It's convenient, big enough to work in it, but small enough that you can travel around with it with no problem. I will put some links down below if you want to get one for yourself. With all that being said, let's crack open this baby and you can see all the work that I have done. Some of it will not be pretty, but that is what a sketchbook is for. So just go with me on it. Here we go. I actually started this sketchbook in 2020, right during the height of the pandemic, yay, and finished it the end of last year. So just to give you a range of when this was started and the end. But yeah, I started this actually in May of 2020. I know that because I was doing mermaids at the time because it was Mermaid. So first thing I did was a little sketch of Ariel with her friend Flounder, because, you know, why not? But yeah, just some testing. I was testing some, I think these are some Marabou crayons. I was testing them out here. I like this little mermaid here. She's got a little washi tape tail. That's a little sparkly and shiny. And also her brassiere, her top is also made of washi tape. The rest is markers. Just a sketch here. Just doing some like testings. Sailor Moon redraw. That's always fun. I think I did this with a combination of watercolor, Tombow markers, and Copic markers, I believe. And as you can see, it does bleed through, so just FYI if you're going to get the sketchbook. And it does warp the page when you use watercolor. I used watercolor for the background, so it will warp your pages in this because it's not really meant for wet media. Just a little sketch. I actually have a big version I blew up of this that I want to color in and do. I always like to put notes. Sorry, got some notes up in here. There's some stuff. Take those out. This one I was just trying to do some like comic book characters as a sketch for a day. I love the black cat over here, my favorite. I love this Harley Quinn. I think it's awesome. Storm. Got a rogue over here. Doing some lip studies. A little mini sketch over here. I was reading a book called Riot Baby, which I highly recommend, and just thought of maybe doing a sketch of Ella, one of the main characters from that book. It still may happen. We will see. Just some sketches for some stuff. This is actually some studies and some sketches for a bigger piece that I have that I'm hopefully going to finish this year. This was inspired by a artist, Paulina Bright, where she does wonderful female portraits, kind of integrated with animals in the pictures. They're really beautiful. Check her out on Instagram. So I was taking inspiration from her idea. Mulan. I was working on this, I think, before the live-action Mulan movie came out. So, and then this is me just playing with some crayons. Same with this. I think there might be a video for this where I did some work with some metallic crayons. These are like some metallic glitter crayons. It probably doesn't show up on camera, but I can see the glitter in them. This was a draw this in your style sketch I did. A couple sketches here of one of my OC characters, Magenta. Just some sketches here. Doing some swatching for some stuff I got, I believe, in a sketch box, I believe. Here's some sketches. This is like the rough sketch, and then this is the finished, you know, one. I can't remember what I did this for. I don't remember. This is me in Inktober. This is actually the thumbnail or the rough sketch for the Inktober in 2020 that I had started. I have the bigger piece that I did on a bigger piece of Bristol board. But yeah, I never finished it. I don't know, for some reason in 2020 I just lost interest in Inktober. I think all the controversy and stuff around it was going on, and I don't know, midway I kind of lost interest and just stopped doing it. And then here's some witches. I believe this might have been around Halloween or even before Halloween, but I absolutely love how these turned out. I might try to do some more sketches of these guys. I love them. This was around when Adobe Max was taking place, I think that year, so probably October. It was virtual that year. I highly recommend to check it out if you like Adobe products. And then obviously The Mandalorian and little baby Yoda slash Grogu, because, you know. Here's some sketches of some people I just found online. A sketch of Ahsoka. Some Christmas designs for just doing some different types of ideas of trees. This is 2020, and then obviously going into 2021. These are some card ideas that I had sketched out. Got a sketch of Katara from Avatar: The Last Airbender. Quotes, other sketches, hand sketches. I was doing some concept art probably for changing my banner on my main YouTube page, but I don't know, I may end up doing something with this, we'll see. Got some quotes. I was playing with some new fine liner color pens that I got, so just did a little sketch there, sketch here, playing with the little watercolors that I have. More sketch, a little thumbnail, and then I actually took this into, I want to say it's either Procreate or Fresco, and I'm trying to do some line work and maybe do a little bit more. These are my OCs, Umi and her sister, Anna, drinking some coffee. A little rough sketch of a Van Gogh. Some more quotes. Just doing some stuff with some graphite, some head studies. Just a little sketch. I love this. I really like this flow and everything's really nice. Some more sketches with some quotes. Strawberry study. Some more sketches. Here, some more like human hybrid animal people. Some nose and arm sketches. kind of like an odd head study of my OC Umi. Some studies of my OC Umi and also Salem, who's also an OC. And another quote here. This one is a sketch of a singer artist I saw on a talk show during the time, and I don't remember her name, but her hair was like this, where it was in these big baubles with like pearls or beads coming down it, and I just thought that was really cool. So yeah, I drew this sketch of her. Some more quotes. Got some sketches here. Tiny Spider-Man. Beginning of a sketch that was never finished. Here's, this must have been Mermaid 2021. Gotta love a Princess Leia with a Princess Leia mermaid with an R2-D2 like squid octopus. I think this was just a fun study of just using a combination of like some watercolor and some markers. But yeah, bleed through, as you can see. Mermaid, obviously. Cute mermaids. Doing a kind of a study of a shuriken and another mermaid using some washi tape for the decoration. The TV show Loki was on at the time, so I love the logo for this show. It's so good. Just the different, you know, fonts they use and how it just works. It just works so well. So I just wanted to draw it out. Little mermaid, mercat or catfish mermaid lady. I always have, just if I'm removing Post-it notes, I put Post-it notes in sketchbooks and books and stuff all the time. So yeah, it's a little sketch of Umi. And here's a watercolor. This is pure watercolor, and you can kind of see how the page is really warped because of it. But you can use wet media in here, but just know that your page is gonna warp. So I wouldn't do something final in this. Maybe just like a swatch test or, you know, just a little, you know, playing around. But I wouldn't do a final piece in here because it will warp, and you'll get like the creases and stuff in your paper. Here's a sketch of a bird. I believe I have a YouTube video for this one. I will link it up here. Some more sketchings. Some more sketchings. I really like this one. I think this is really cute. This I just did the outline with a black fine liner and did her coloring with highlighters. Yeah, just to see what coloring I can do with some highlighters. Some eye studies. A sketch here of a mermaid. Yay! These are some, I believe these are watercolor pencils that I got, and I was just kind of testing them out to see how they bled out. Some sketches of an art piece here and a card here. Some more sketches, Halloween sketches, and then this is an idea for maybe some paintings that I might do later. This was my initial idea, and then I tried to do some after that in variation, but very stark colors is what I'm thinking. Some sketches for some cards, some sketches here for some big pieces maybe that will probably never get done, but sketchbook, at least I did something on them. Some more sketches here. I'd gotten some, I think these are kind of like neon fine liners, and I was just playing around with them here. Some sketches for some cards, and these are actually some cards I did for, I think this is actually a video I did, and I will link that up here so you can check that out if you want to see how these pieces here turned out. Happy New Year, going into 2022 now. So we can see swatches, sketches for some cards, sketches for a couple pieces. I got some paints and stuff from a art box, and I ended up doing the fish piece, and I also did a video on that, and I will link that one as well here. So if you want to check out and see how that final thing turned out. These are just some rough drawing sketches. Sometimes at a art museum that is local to me, we'll have some Saturdays where you can go and check out a live model, and basically you just bring yourself and your art materials and you can sketch. There's no direction or anything, you just, you know, you do what you want to do. It just has to be dry media, that's their only request. And you know, and you pay to do that. And so yeah, just some gesture drawings from that session, some more from that session. This is the sketch from a Draw This in Your Style that I believe is on my Instagram if you want to check out the final piece of this. This is me doing the hand study, trying to figure out how I wanted her hand to be in the final piece. This is before She-Hulk was coming out, so I did just a little mini sketch of She-Hulk, Jennifer Walters over here. This was a Draw This in Your Style that I had started and I just dropped it, just didn't do it. There's some like character. This was from a class I was taking where you're taking a character and trying to show their expression through their movements and how you can bend and manipulate them. So I made like a little sun character. We'll call him Sunny, sure. More gesture drawings. This was actually from around last Halloween, where it was at that same museum that I was talking about, where you can do sketches of the live models, and the model this time was wearing costumes, so that was kind of fun. So you got to kind of play around with the folds and different things that they were wearing. So got some drawings from that. And this, I really love this one. She changed outfits. It's like, you know, it's like an evil apple / butcher knife person. But yeah, and a little mini holiday sketch there. So there we go, the end of the sketchbook tour. Thank you guys so much for joining me and walking through the history of this book. Obviously, if you enjoyed this video, feel free to give it a nice thumbs up down below. And if you want to know about new videos when they are coming out on the channel, feel free to hit the notification bell or the red subscribe button somewhere down there. If you want to follow more of my artistic journey, especially checking out my new sketchbook that I'm going to be starting, you can follow me on Instagram or Twitter at E.Stampley Art. As always, I'd like to thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Bye!